What's happening, people? What's happening? I just wanted to come and do a live, and in this live, I guess I can talk about everybody. Hold on, just for a minute. Let me jump on this now. Everybody's hair grow different. When mine's grow, it be itching and stuff, and I don't know why it's like that, but that's the way it is. It is what it is. Yeah. So better yet, um, I got the air conditioner on. I'm not gonna be long. I know I'm not gonna be long because it's like 1:53 in the morning. But a lot of people be getting on me. Well, one particular person be getting on me. I mean, be commenting on my Facebook page, telling me uh not to talk about uh racist. They call it well, racist issues in public places and stuff. You know what I mean? Public places like Walmart, anywhere, and things of that nature. To me, I just think it's dumb and it's docile. To be meaning that you're in a dumb state of mind. People don't do their research. When you find a person who's in a docile state of mind, my definition of it is a person who don't know any better, a person who is ignorant to something, or think they're doing you a service by telling you, oh, don't say those things and don't say that, because a lot of people don't know the context to different things. You see what I'm saying? Know the context before you try to debate it. And this is something that a lot of our people do. They, instead of them um, doing the research, they want to sit there and do a debate before they actually do the research. And and you know what I'm saying? That's not cool at all. You see what I'm saying? It's not cool at all. And it's just crazy. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why a lot of people, the white people, the so-called white man, they don't really like, and they ban people on certain platforms and stuff like Facebook and stuff like that, is because they're afraid that the more truth we hear, the more we're going to wake up and realize who we are as a people of color. And that's the enemy's aim, is to keep you in a state of confusion. And for us to be walking around here not knowing who we are, that's not good. Knowing your father's lineage, you know what I mean, like your nationality. And when somebody asks you what's your nationality, it means the nation of people that you descend from. That's important. And those things are in the Bible. It's important to know who you are. You see what I'm saying? Now, me in particular, I always said the tribe of Levi, but I know my father is American, so-called American. He was born and raised in in the so-called Babylon in America here. I know he was born and raised here, and his father is from another island, another con- continent, another country. You see what I'm saying? So now I don't know who, a lot of us don't know who our great granddaddies is and stuff. So I don't want to feel like I'm saying one thing in my video and then changing it over, because like whatever your father is, I do know for sure, whatever your father is, that's what you are. It's in the Bible. It's in Numbers 1 and 18. It goes by the lineage of your father. Hold on. I'll tell you what I'll do. Oops. Hold on. Well, it's better to make a sacrifice than to just be saying, because a lot of people they not gonna believe it. I mean, I'm not gonna say believe it, they're not gonna accept it, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read it anyhow. Numbers. Let's see here. Numbers chapter 1 and 18. I'm gonna show y'all. Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all of the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigree, the pedigrees meaning your bloodline, your nation of people, after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of the names from 20 years old and upward by their posts. So this was Moses was setting order here. He was choosing the Israelites that would be able to go out and fight in the as an ambassador on the battlefield. That's what it was all about. So the moral of this thing here, the Most High was separating, uh, getting rid of the weak from the bad. Those who wasn't strong, who was not strong enough, is to go on the battle to fight the enemies and stuff. The Bible says that God called Moses and assembled the congregation together from Benjamin, Simeon, and Naphtali, and all these Gamaliel and all these different tribes of the Jews, and they was picking out the ones who was willing to be faithful to go on the battlefield. Let me read it. Numbers chapter 1 and 4. And with you there shall be a man of every tribe, every one head of the house of his fathers. And these are the names of the men that shall stand with you. Of the tribe of Reuben, Eleazar, the son of Shishar, Simeon, Shemaliah, and the son of Zeradash. Wait a minute. Zerashadai. Ooh, I don't even know how to even say those. And of Judah, and Nashon, the son of Aminadab of Issachar. Issachar is the tribe where the Mexicans come out of. And Benjamin is the Jamaicans. And of the children of Joseph, of Ephraim, Ephraim is where the Puerto Ricans came out of Ephraim. And all of those. So Moses was picking out the different ones who would be strong. Let me read this right here. As the Lord commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. This was a place where the Israelites came to receive the commandments of God. It was you know what I mean, where he revealed himself, talked with them, or whatever you want to call it. And the children of Reuben, that's Jacob's firstborn. That was the firstborn Israelite. And the children of Reuben, Israel, elder son by their generation after their families, by the house of their fathers. See, it was by the house, it goes by the house of your father. Now, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, please do your research on this stuff. Don't just sit up and just have doubts in your mind and saying, because see, you have to realize that this Bible is an inheritance. That's what I'm trying to show y'all. And the children of Reuben, Israel's elder son, that means elder son means the older son, by their generations, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the numbers of the names, by their polls, every male from 20 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war. These that were number of them, even of the tribe of Reuben, were 46,500. See, notice it says all that were able to go forth to war in Israel. See, they had to make sure that they was prepared is to go out and fight their enemies. The enemies were the Moabites. If you look right there in Numbers chapter 22 and Numbers 21, you will see that the Moabites, who are the Moabites today? The Moabites are the Chinese people. And these people was afraid of the children of Israel because there was so many in number. Let's get that, matter of fact, since I said that. Because a lot of people, they'll wonder, where did you get that from? Because a lot of people, you got to show them. Don't worry about, I mean, the air conditioning on, you probably barely can hear me, but it's just kind of warm in here. Okay, now look, I'm gonna read right here in Numbers. I'm gonna read right here in Numbers 21, verse 1. And when the king of Arad, the Canaanites, now the Canaanites are the African people, which dwelt in the south, heard tell that Israel came by the way of the spies. Then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. See that? See, these were the enemies. That's why God never chose them other nations. The other nations hate the Jews. The real Jews of the Bible are the Israelites. All right. It says, and Israel vowed a vow unto the Lord and said, if thou wilt indeed deliver this people unto my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And the Lord hearkened unto the voice of Israel. See, God always listened to Israel and delivered up the Canaanites, which what I just said, they are the African tribe. They delivered up the Canaanites and they utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of that place Hormah. Okay, let's look at Numbers 22 and 1. And the children of Israel sent forward and pitched in the plains of Moab. That means they pitched, they took their journey and went to Moab because it was, and on this side Jordan by Jericho. And Balak the son of Zippro saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was so afraid of the people because there were many. And Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. That means that they had their enemies afraid of them. This is the way the other nations supposed to be toward us. They do. Think about this now. Them other nations supposed to fear us. I got the camera close up, y'all. Them other nations is supposed to fear us. They supposed to be afraid of us. We not supposed to be afraid of the white man. We not supposed to be afraid of them other nations. And I'm not trying to be funny, y'all. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be what y'all call or say disrespectful or whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm just telling the truth. We're not supposed to be afraid of these other nations. We're not supposed to be afraid of a white man, the so-called white man. You know what I mean? Because look what it says in. And Moab was so afraid. You know what? Them Chinese, them so-called Chinese people, they do be afraid of us. If you don't believe that these people are the Chinese, just look up Moab and see who Moab is. Moab is the Chinese people. Notice that when you as a so-called black person go into a Chinese beauty salon where they sell the weave and all of that DNA that come out their scalp and they try to put it in our black community and sell it, go into a Chinese store and see how them Chinese people will treat you. When you walk up in there, they act nervous and scared when you walk up in there, in them places. And look what them so-called demon or Chinese men do. They'll sit up there and y'all notice I think one of them punched the black woman, I think. You see what I'm saying? They're afraid of us. If you walk, like I walked up in there one time and I don't say nothing to them, but they when you walk up in there, they'll try to follow you on every aisle. And look what it says here. And Moab was so afraid of the people because there were many. And Moab was distressed because of the children of Israel. And Moab said unto the elders of Midian, now this company lick up all that are round about us, as the ox licketh up the grass of the field. And Balak, the son of Zippor, was king of the Moabites at that time. Zippor was king of the Moabites at that time. Zippor, I think that was Moses' father-in-law, because I think Moses married one time he married an Ethiopian woman, and then he married Moses married uh, Zippor's daughter. I think his daughter was a Midianitish woman. I need to try to find out what tribe that woman is. I think she was I can find out right quick. Hold on. Oops. I keep on. Wait a minute. I keep on. Hold on, y'all. My bad. I know it's time for me to get into bed. Moses married, yeah, because Midian had 7 daughters. And Moses married Midian. Yeah, Moses married Midian. Oh man, I hate I showed that. But yeah. I'm gonna have to set this camera up here because it's easy to show, because people be getting on me about showing different things in the house and all that kind of stuff. Hold on. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to show it up there like that. Yeah. The priest of Midian had 7 daughters. So Moses married Midian. I hope this video came out good. Okay. According to the Bible, what tribe is the nation of Midianite from?
According to Wikipedia, according to the book of Genesis, the Midianites were the descendants of Midian, who was a son of Abraham and his wife Keturah. Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah.
So Moses married, according to what I see, Moses married an Israelite woman that was from the lineage of the bloodline of Abraham. It says, according to the book of Genesis, the Midianites were the descendants of Midian, who was a son of Abraham and his wife Keturah. I remember that in Genesis 25, where Moses took a wife and her name was Keturah. I hate that I don't want to keep. Yeah. So let's go. And Balak, the son of Zippor, saw all that Moses had done. So Zippor, that was I don't know what to say, Abraham's great grandson or something. Let's go to Exodus right quick. Yeah, let's go to Exodus right quick. Okay, here we go. I think I'm right around in here somewhere. Right in here. Now, Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law. Oh, Jethro. I had it wrong. Now, I don't know. Wait a minute. I'm going to read it. Now, Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, and the priests of Midian. Midian was a priest, and he laid the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to Horeb. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of the bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burned. And when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here am I. Okay, and Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter. Okay, I think I might have had it right. Zipporah. I think I had it right. Zipporah. And Moses said unto the elders of Midian, Now shall this company lick up all that are round about us, as the ox licketh of grass of the field, as the ox licketh of the grass of the field. And Bashan and Balak, the son of Zipporah, Z-I-P, Z-I-P-O, I mean, Z-I-P-P-O-R, Z-I-P-P-O-R. Okay, we go back. I just want to make sure I'm correct. Z-I-P-P-O-R, Zipporah, his daughter, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Goshen, 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 Goshen. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. So Moses had uh, a wife by the name of Zipporah. So yeah, I think it's the same name. It's just that the names changed later on, just like Jacob's name changed from Jacob to Israel. And Israel means overcome, and Jacob means is to deceive. Simply, that's what it means. So it says, and Moab said unto the elders of Midian, now shall this company lift up all that are round about us, as ox licketh of the grass of the field. And Balak, the son of Zipporah, was king of the Moabites at that time. Zipporah, which was and Moses was content to dwell with the man and gave Moses Zipporah his daughter. So Zipporah was and the people spake against God and against Moses. Okay. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he may take away the servants from us. And Moses prayed for the people. So this was about uh, Israel going. Okay, Zipporah was king of the Moabites at that time. Okay, I think I had it. I just want to join it right. Zipporah, his daughter, and she bare him a son, and called his name Goshen. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in the process, excuse me, and it came to pass in the process of time, or in the process of time, that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel signed by reason of the abundance. They cried, and their cry came up unto God by reason of the abundance. And God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, and with Isaac and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them. That y'all know this is in the New Testament as well too. So Moses also married. Now let me clear this up. When people say that Moses married an Ethiopian woman, the woman was not really she was not really an Ethiopian. She was a so-called Ethiopian that Moses married. She was actually an Israelite, but a lot of people mistake that to say that she was actually Ethiopian. No, yeah. So it wasn't a real Ethiopian woman. She was a so-called Ethiopian, just like we call ourselves African American, right? That doesn't mean that we are an African American. Your real heritage is a Hebrew. That's our real heritage. Like if somebody I can go work for a company, or I can go stay in China. I could have been born and raised in China, born and raised, and I can say that's my hometown, but that's not my nation of people. You can be born in a certain place, but just because you were born in a certain place doesn't mean that's your original inheritance. You see what I'm saying? And this is something that our people need to understand. Just because you are born in a certain place does not mean that that's your bloodline. Just because, let me give you another example. Somebody can come along and they can adopt me as their child. They can adopt me and call me their godchild. But just because they call me their godchild, that's not going to make me the real original child. So that they still is not by blood. I'm not a real descendant of that bloodline. I'm just doing it and call myself adopting that person onto the bloodline, but that doesn't make that person be a part of me. You see what I'm saying? That's not what it is. So this is how the Most High God, if you have to look at things like that. You can't become, based upon what I read in the Bible, based upon what I read in this book, you cannot become a spiritual Jew. You got to be born. You got to be born into this thing. I can't walk up and say, "Oh, that's my." I can say it all day and all day if I want to. I can walk up to somebody and say, "Oh, that's my father," or whatever. Doesn't mean that's not my real biological father. Of course, the person can adopt me and say, I take you like a son. And of course, if you're doing the will of God, yeah. But according to your real ethnicity, your bloodline, that's not your real nation of people. I can go over in China right now. Let me make another example. And ask a Chinaman is to adopt me as his father. And they can adopt me as one of their real families. Just because they say, yeah, you my real blood, that's not going to make me be the real blood of a Chinese. It's not going to make me be a real Chinese because my DNA is not matching up with their DNA because I did not come out of a Chinese woman's womb. That's still not going to make me Chinese. You see what I'm saying? Another thing, you can go and take apples and plant apples over in Libya or China. Or you're not gonna get no 8 different flavors of fruit. And you're not gonna get apples and then you're gonna get bananas and oranges too all at the same time. You're gonna get what that seed is. Whatever that seed is, that's what's gonna come up. You ain't gonna plant no put apple seeds in the ground and you're gonna get carrots and mixed apples. You're not gonna get no carrot and mixed apples. That's common sense. You're gonna get what that seed is. If your father is a so-called white man, then guess what you're gonna be? You're gonna be a Caucasian. You're gonna be an Edomite. It ain't no, you can't get around that because your DNA is going to, it seals that decision. It seals that. Once that seed hit that woman and that man put his seed or his semen in that woman, that's what that child going to be, and you cannot change that. You cannot change what's in the DNA because that's what you is. You are what your father is. That's what it is. That's exactly what. I'm not making it up. Now let's read Exodus 2:16. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters. This is what I just said. And I mean said probably about 15 minutes ago, I believe. They came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flocks. Now see, back in the day, during this time, we had well water, but the so-called white man, they took and they topped it and tainted our water and got us to where we got to go to the stove and we got to buy water because they done took and messed up the water and giving us city water. They poison, and we don't drink that poison. That's poison in the water. That's trying to kill you. So it said, now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up to help them and watered their flock. See, this is back in the day. Our ancestors had sheep, oxen, ass, cameras, and all kinds of stuff. So back then they had wells of water. But the so-called white man, all of this, I'm going to show y'all that in the Bible. I'm not going to be able to do it tonight, but I'm going to show y'all that this was prophesied, that the so-called white man would mess up our water. But if you're a Hebrew Israelite, you're a Hebrew Israelite. If you are a Edomite, then you're an Edomite. An Edomite is 2 different bloodlines. That's 2 different nations of people. And this is what the Bible is saying. The Bible says that there's 18 nations in the Bible. Everybody came out of one of each nation. You see what I'm saying? That's right. So the nation of people that you descend from is very important. This is something that a lot of the people in the different churches is not telling people. But you have to wake up and realize that your nation of people is your heritage, your culture, your nationality, the things you eat. That's right, the things you eat, your bloodline, things you drink. Everybody has a culture. Everybody has a nationality. And I'm using these words just to break down what I'm talking about. Everybody has a culture and everybody has a nationality. Your nationality is your pedigree. Your pedigree is determined, your bloodline is determined by who your father is. Your father means your nation of people. Whatever your father is, that's your nation of people. And that's anybody. Your nation of people is your father. If your mother is a so-called black woman and your father is a so-called white man, you are a Caucasian or you are Edomite man, because that's the biblical name for the so-called white man. That's your nation of people. In other words, what I'm trying to tell you is there is no such thing as mixed. You are what your father is. I learned this from listening to a couple of brothers that be on the streets. But what I did, I turned around and I came back and I looked this information up myself. And I said, you know what? That makes sense. You are what your daddy is. Whatever your daddy is, that's what you is. So I'm gonna get up out of here. So I guess I broke it down enough. In y'all spare time, read Exodus chapter 2, 1 and 1, and Exodus chapter 3, and Numbers chapter 1 and 18. Y'all read that in y'all spare time. So, with that being said, I'm going to call it in for the night. I'm going to say peace and love to my people of color, and I'm going to see y'all in the next live. Peace.